The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing Icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business. From $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters in Real Estate Marketing, Arter SEO.
Welcome to the Icons of Real Estate. I'm Tim Calloway. I have a very special guest for you today from the wonderful state just north of me of Georgia. As a matter of fact, out of Atlanta, Georgia, with the Premier Group. Keena Bass, how are you?
I'm doing great, Tim. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Now you're here. So I do have to ask you, Keena. I ask everybody this. After this question, you can talk about anything you like. But were you the 5-year-old tugging at your parents' pant leg, saying, "Hey, mom, dad, how do I become a realtor one day?" Or were you like the rest of us, where we just kind of fell back into it?
I wasn't doing it at the age of 5, no.
Come on, asking your parents how to become a realtor. Come on.
No, I wanted to be a doctor.
There you go. There you go. Amen. There you go. No, that's great. So how'd you get into real estate then? What's your story?
So my story is pretty much I started real estate out of, I went for a temp job and they had a job at a real estate company. When I was about 19 years old, I knew I wanted to do something in real estate. I knew I wanted to either be an investor or something like that. So I just didn't know which direction to go. So it wasn't on my radar a whole lot until I got this temp job, and I was working the front desk, and it was just supposed to be 1 or 2 days while the front desk person was out or while they found someone to cover for her. So she never came back. So they were like, okay, so do you want to stay here and join the team and, help us out? So I did that for, I guess, about 6 months. And then I started getting curious. And I said, well, is it any other jobs that I can do here? What else can I do? So they put me in the back doing contracts. And once they did that, that's where I learned everything I know. So I worked in the compliance department with my broker and just checking contracts, making sure everything looked good. And he pretty much taught me everything about real estate right there.
Wow. That's pretty awesome because, that's the way maybe people should come up. That's the reality is if you came up that way, like in normal corporate America, you start in the mailroom and work your way up, whatever the case may be. But real estate don't work like that normally.
Right.
It's
Normally
like,
it doesn't.
hey, Tim's gonna go get his license and he's gonna go down and walk into someone's door and say, hey, give me some business cards. I'm gonna drive around town and wave at people.
Yeah.
That seems to be what HDTV and everybody else wants to sell you, but the reality is there's a reason we're realtors and that you go out there and you get find out all the details and do your due diligence. Is there's a lot of complicated wording and laws that go along with it. So working in contracts, that must be huge for you. Having that.
I learned how to stay out of jail. I learned how to stay out of realtor jail.
Yeah.
And that was a good thing. That was a good start because it's a lot that you really don't know about the contract, and to have to know, what causes a lot of realtors to end up in jail. So I'm glad I started there first.
That's awesome. I think it's a great story for sure, Keena. So we talked about kind of how you got started and so on and so forth. So where are you now? Tell me, are you on a team? Are you a solopreneur? What does it look like for you now, and how are you growing?
So I am on a team now. The best team at EXP Realty Premier Group. It's a group of all different types of agents, not just new agents. A lot of people look at teams and think they're just for new agents, but this team is actually well-rounded. I'm a mentor on the team, and I train agents on how to get their business started and how to keep it going. And for the most part, I specialize in helping them learn how to lead generate so that they can continue to get business.
Great. So expound upon that a little bit. When you say lead generate, and it's only because I've been around a long time, Everybody's definition of a lead is different. Some people, it's just a phone number. I say, if you just want a phone number, go get the phone book or whatever.
Go get the phone number, yeah.
But what is a lead to you? What does that mean to you, Keena?
So a lead to me is somebody you have all of their contact information, phone numbers, email address, and they know you as a real estate agent, not just somebody that you just gave your card to. They actually know you as a real estate agent, and you have to try and get them to the next step, which is getting them into a transaction. So a lead for me is not a prospect. So a prospect is just, I'm passing out cards to anybody that has a pulse. A lead is actually a person that we know it has the potential to purchase a home.
Gotcha. So without giving away, maybe you don't mind giving away your secret sauce, give me some of the tidbits on how you generate leads and how you train others or teach others to generate leads. I'm excited to hear.
So what I tell every new agent is the first things first. I mean, it's pretty basic and it's simple. Just write down everybody that you know and let them know you're in real estate. Give them a call, ask them for their information. That's what I start with. If you do that, you'll have a great list of people to start with.
Gotcha.
So that's the basics. Step 2 is, once you've got those people, work them, put them, friend them on Facebook, Instagram, get them on your email list, and make sure you're sending them updates when you're having open houses and things like that. Contests, put them in a contest. Seeing, calling them, actually getting on the physical phone and calling them, writing them a love note. I call them love notes. It could be a DM, it could be a note card, sending them a gift card in the mail. But you have to have their address to do that. So a lead, you can send them, if you have their address and they are a home seller, you can send them a market update. Just doing things to keep your people to know that you're in real estate, and they will respond to you. They will call you. Now, I had to learn the hard way, because the first 3 years in real estate, I did not care. I sold a house and I moved on next. So it took me a while to realize, okay, if I want the people to come back to me, if I want to, keep my business going, I have to keep up with these people that I know.
Right. You got to keep that sphere strong, right? You got to keep that, well, being my age, we had Rolodexes. We don't have Rolodexes. We have CRMs now, but you got to keep that CRM full and keep those contacts out. And it's so easy to do nowadays. There's so many tools out there, right?
Yeah.
So what does the next 1, 3, and I don't, if you've thought this far out, 5 years look like for Keena, and how she's going to grow her business, and what some of your goals are for the next 1, 3, and 5 years?
So I'm going to just continue my real estate business. So what you don't know is I just moved to Atlanta, so I have to start a new sphere here in Atlanta. So I've been here almost a year, well, a little over a year. And so now I'm starting from scratch. It's almost like I'm a new agent. So I'm getting my contacts. I am starting that. So my 1-year goals are just basically to get more in the community, get my sphere up, get my name out there in Atlanta. I'll say 3-year goal, I definitely want to start mentoring on a larger scale. Social media has been a big thing that I'm trying to learn how to get into, and getting my YouTube channel rolling and things like that. So just talking to more people on a larger scale. I haven't thought about 5 years yet.
That's okay. Now, tell me, did you move up from Florida?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm in West Palm Beach.
Where'd you come? In Pensacola.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. Yeah, Atlanta's nice though. That's a good market. You know what I was going to say, when the show's over, and most of my listeners know this already, stay with me for about a minute after the show. I'll share something with you can do with relatively low cost that will make you the rock star that you are. But I'll share that with you when we're done here. Okay, so we talked about how you got started, where you are today, team-wise, and then obviously the next 1 and 3, 5 years, you want to keep growing your business in the first year, and then get into more social media, more contact outreach, and then of course you want to start mentoring, which is huge. Do you look to, let's talk about that 5th year you weren't sure about yet. Do you look to building your team or your downline? Is that part of it? Would you like to have a team? Yeah.
I would like to have my own organization. And part of that is just getting things in place for them. The organization that I'm on, I'm blessed. I'm with Team GoGo. So we have like so many resources. I'm also a part of the Honey Badgers group, in the Fast Forward movement. So we have so many resources, but I do want to offer something of my own to put my stamp on the market and help new agents, make a difference in the community.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I love it. So now I'm going to give you the chance to tell everybody all about Atlanta, or maybe even better, since how long have you been in Atlanta?
About a little over a year.
Oh, okay. You've been there. You've been there, I actually talked to someone, this is so funny, that had been in their new town one day, but then they had been a huge producer in their former town, and it was in the Panhandle, actually, in Florida. But it was so funny. They had been at EXP one day and at this new area for one day. So it was kind of funny getting out of them, tell me about the area. Well, I just moved here, but tell me about Atlanta and why people would love Atlanta so much.
So Atlanta is the land of opportunity. Lots of headquarters for companies here. They even have some military here, which when I was in Pensacola, I was a big military agent. I do a lot of relocation because companies are always moving people in and out. We've got the Atlanta Braves. I'm always at the Braves Stadium because I'm at the Regis office right there at the stadium. So it's always something to do. It's a booming community. The economy is really good here. I live in the South, a little slower in the country. Well, not really the country. It's 10 minutes from the city. I'm 10 minutes from the airport. So location-wise, it's a really good place to be, especially if you're relocating or flying in and out a lot. The schools are really good. A lot of people love living here for the schools, education, and things like that. So it's a really a good place to be. I love it here so far.
Yeah, I was going to say, look, I'm not going to argue with you. You know it better than I do. But if you're 10 minutes from the airport, I don't know if that's the country or not. I've lived in the country.
That's the thing about Georgia. You can be in the country in a minute.
That's right. That's true. That's true. So, let me ask you another question. And I don't always ask this to everybody, but since you just recently made the transplant over, what are some of the hurdles besides starting over, which you did discuss? What are some of, if I had a magic wand or something like that, I could solve your one hurdle that you have to jump through every day. What would it be? Would it just be more time? I need to replicate Keena, and so she has another person. What would that be? What would that one fix be for you?
I think it is pretty much name recognition. The Premier Group is pretty new in Georgia. So in Florida, Premier Group is known. People know Premier Group. So name recognition is one hurdle that I'm getting over. And the way I'm tackling it is just being in the community, getting in front of the people that, especially in the real estate industry, you have to get with the real estate groups, the boards and things like that to get your name out there, and then doing things like this, attending podcasts or attending community meetings so that people know who you are. So just starting out, I got to start all over. That's how I did it in Pensacola. My number one strategy for lead generation is networking. So that's what I'm doing all over again.
Boots on the ground. Boots on the ground, right? How would someone get in touch with you there in hot Atlanta? I'll call it Atlanta. Nobody likes hot Atlanta anymore. How would someone get in touch with you?
And they can call me on my cell. They can hit me on Instagram DMs at Realtor Keena. You can find me at Realtor Keena pretty much on everything except Twitter. I'm not on Twitter.
That's all right.
And they can call my cell phone 850-206-7254.
There you go. Twitter's out of control anyway. Only tweets I ever see now are craziness. So anyway.
Yeah, I'm not getting in that.
Yeah, right. All right. So this is my last thing, and I do it with everybody, but it's so don't let it throw you off at all. So like I said, I'm just a DJ and you're the hit record, and I'm spinning that hit record. Now, I want you to share with my audience. They're here to hear you. Tell us something positive that you have on your mind, your heart, your soul, that you think the audience should hear, and whether it be about you, whether it be about real estate, Atlanta, your pet, whatever it may be, your family, it doesn't matter what it is. Just take us out on a positive note, Keena.
Everybody's life is different and everybody has come from somewhere different.
Right.
As a teenager, I had to come from being homeless and having a drug addicted mother. And I was able to get on track and somehow turn it around. And it was not as hard as I thought it would be. So now I do a lot of things in the community because I want to help people know that even, it doesn't matter if you're at rock bottom, you can always start over. No matter what, you can always start over.
Yeah, I love that mentality. That's great advice. That's sage advice there that a lot of people need for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keena Bass, thank you so much for being on the program. I look forward to connecting with you over the next 3, 6, 9 months and kind of seeing where you're at. You are definitely on the right track. You're on a freight train to success, I think. You're
Thank
doing
you.
great. Doing great. Keep that great attitude and spirit about you and you'll do well. Like I said, hang on with me for a minute there. I do want to share something with you, but until we have you on the show again, thank you so much and have a great week.
Thank you.
All right.